We are starting to see the election impact in economic numbers. We got our first print of the week, and it was home builder confidence. To give you some context of this particular report, last month was 43. Again, what the numbers are, really don't pay attention to, but pay attention to direction and magnitude of any changes. So again, last month was 43. It was expected to get worse and go to 42. Heck, why wouldn't it get worse? Rates are up basically 100 basis points. But again, as I hinted at the opening, the election impact is coming through, and actual home builder confidence is at 46. That is the largest or highest in 7 months. It is a significant move in a single month, and it is directionally better than many, including myself, expected. I expected this number to come in at 42 or even potentially 41. So what did I miss? What did the experts miss? Well, if you dig into the number that just came out about 30 minutes ago, there are a couple of things that are subtle but important. First, builders expect the administration to attack the supply side, not the demand side. Again, there is no talk of free money for first-time home buyers, which would do nothing but, raise prices. There is expectation that the administration will, A, open federal land for new construction. We have talked about that. That's a net positive. They expect reduced regulation. Again, net positive. This is the big one. I did not hear, at least I didn't hear this talked about, but if it happens, again, supply side. They expect tax incentives for entry-level home builders. If you happen to be at Resi Day in New York a couple of weeks ago when I was on stage and asked what would I do, that's exactly the kind of stuff I talked about, is we need to incentivize first-time home entry-level housing. I said on stage that if I had a magic wand, I would take the average square foot of new construction and reduce it 10%. Again, you could still build the big homes for the rich people, but you know what? Let's create more entry-level housing. So again, pretty interesting. 60%, 6 out of 10 home builders are using sales incentives other than price cuts. Again, we are talking mortgage rate buy down, all of those things. Home builders are optimistic about future sales, plus 7 points month to month. Uptick in traffic, plus 3 points. Again, you got to remember, home builders are truly looking out into the future. They are not looking at days, weeks, or months. They are looking at quarters and years. So again, they are expecting 2025 to be a net positive. I see that our boy Dion Talk Financial Freedom has joined us. Hey, buddy, send me a text. I'm thinking about going live at 8 a.m. as my 8 a.m. interview canceled. So if you want to go live with me on YouTube, send me a text and we'll go from 8 to 9 a.m. If you're busy, no big deal. I might go live just myself at 8 a.m., but send me a note if you're cool with that. Again, let's talk about Dan Bird, Joseph Wang, the Fed guy, Taylor from Life Goal Investments. A lot of people that I'm speaking with are nervous about the first half of 2025, right? Higher for longer, tariffs, unemployment. There's a lot of things that could be disruptive to the economy. To that end, I thought I would highlight another story. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is not nervous about 2025. In fact, Morgan Stanley put out a piece this morning saying that they expect the S&P 500 to hit 6,500, up about 11% in 2025. So again, there's a bull, there's a bear debate. Again, I wanted to be clear on my side. Oh, cool. Dion, see you at 8. Cool. again, for my side, the business cycle is undefeated. The business cycle is undefeated. And unfortunately, in a business cycle, there needs to be pain. And again, I think the pain is going to come in 2025. I think the real estate industry has been in a fair amount of pain for years. I think the economy will have a struggle in 2025. Dan Bird and I talk about that a lot yesterday. That video went live at 5:00. But again, I think it really warrants just stepping back and making sure you're in a good spot. And as always, a silver lining to a bad year is you get to buy stuff cheaper, right? Betting against America has not been a winning strategy, but we do have bear markets inside bull markets. And again, we may have 2025 may rhyme or be similar with 2022, according to Dan Bird. Folks, if you are part of our wonderful school community, I do want to remind you to log into school and add your location. Again, I want to shout out Renee, who really made this happen, who really answered all of my stupid questions. You can go to the school map and add your location. Please, please, please do not add your home address. Add a Starbucks, a McDonald's, whatever you want. But we are getting more and more people added to the map, and that's going to help us network. It's going to help us understand who is where. Also, just so you know, I added our Vegas event as an event because you can add your location, add event. So if you're going to be part of a RIA or a meetup or whatever, you can also add events. So everybody will see those. So again, Renee, thank you for dealing with an old guy who didn't understand how to configure it, but it is clearly working. And Mark, yesterday, Mark, I gave you recognition. I apologize for not knowing where my purple cards were. After turning the house upside down, I found my stack of purple cards. So Mark, congratulations, folks. Purple cards are ones for people who are stuck, who people have been analysis or paralysis, and they just got to get over the hurdle. So write that disrespectful offer. Realize you don't die. Tell me about it, and I will give you a shout out on this channel. So we do purple cards, black cards, gold cards. You do the work. I want to give you some recognition. Let's talk about some earnings that are coming up throughout the week. Monday, we got trip.com. I'm going to be interested to see if people are still buying trips. We did see a slowdown heading into the election. See Wynn and the like, Wynn Casinos, for an example, and others. Singapore Airlines, I think, was down as well. We're going to get a lot of retail, Walmart and Lowe's tomorrow, Tuesday. Also, Viking. Viking is interesting to me because it is let's just say it's an expensive cruise line. As somebody who has traveled on Viking before, well worth it if you have the stroke. But I want to see what the Richie Rich folks are doing on Viking. Wednesday, we will get TJX and NVIDIA. NVIDIA results. I actually had to look this up a couple of times. NVIDIA is expected to do $33 billion in revenue in 90 days. They're expected to have roughly, what is that? Over a 50% margin. Their net income is expected to be $18.4 billion. That is wild. Wild. And then also on Wednesday, we will get Target. Finally, on Thursday, we will get Baidu, Gap, and Ross stores. Again, what's going on with the consumer? Is it high end? Is it low end? Where are we and where are we not shopping? Anybody talking about the election, holdover holidays? What are their expectations for holidays? All very interesting stuff. We did see a bankruptcy filing today from Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines did file for bankruptcy. I do think it was kind of odd because weren't they in negotiations? I thought Spirit Airlines was in negotiations to be bought by someone. Was it Frontier? I don't remember who it was. Another airline, but the FTC, Lena Khan, I believe, poo-pooed it. Again, as we've seen, there's going to be changes at the FTC and SEC, very likely with the new administration. So I think 2025 is going to go down as the year of mergers and acquisitions. The last 4 years have not been kind to mergers and acquisitions. There has been a general anti-mergers and acquisitions. I don't know how else to say it. But I do think 2025, we're going to see a lot more. A lot of them will be kind of shotgun marriages where one of them is very debt laden and they can't refi the debt. Others will be add-on technology. But again, I think 2025 will be a net positive for mergers and acquisitions. Logan Montashami from Housing Wire out with the fire this morning talking about new listings. New listings were 51,832. And to put that in context for all the folks talking about housing crash, in 2010, there were 293,733. So you can't have a crash without overwhelming supply. And let's just say let's call it 52,000 between friends, not going to get it done. As of right now, we are looking at a 62% chance of a quarter point rate cut in December. That's actually down. I believe it was high as 80% a week ago, and a 38% of a pause. Again, yesterday we ran through a lot of Fed speak. If you haven't watched that daily financial news, go back and watch it. I think the Fed is really trying to set us up for one more cut. Is that cut December? Is it January? One can argue. But I really do think the Fed is going, hey, neutral rate is not 3, it is 4, something with a 4 handle. And yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. And again, we will get a dot plot at their next meeting. It'll be very interesting to see how all their changes were. Wall Street Journal out talking about investors are betting on a market melt up, a la Morgan Stanley on their 6,500 call. Again, I want to give credit where credit is due. Joseph Wang, Fed Guy 12 on X or Twitter. He came on this channel over a year ago, called S&P 500 6,000, and he was right. He called it a crash up. You want to call it a melt up. Same difference. It does appear that the retail investor is piling in and betting on that melt up. Anything else go through? Nope. I guess I'll just highlight, folks. Again, a lot of you have told me you're coming to the Vegas event, which is awesome. I will tell you, we are under 90 days. We are less than 90 days away. I am starting to put the finishing touches on the event, trying to put some surprises together for you. So do me a favor, buy your tickets, book your hotels, book your flights. I hope to see you there. Again, you can find it on Eventbrite. Just search One Rental at a Time. Don't forget to join school. Put your location in. Again, 67 cents a day. The community is building. And again, shout out Jason Pritchard, one of my Mount Rushmore real estate investors. He was gracious enough to join the community yesterday or the day before, which was just awesome to see. So, guys, join school. Tell us where you are. Come to the event. And, of course, just keep being awesome. Keep making somebody smile. Keep doing the work. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Later.